She's written 4 already. So, but she was so nice. I mean, I've known her since USC. We go back almost 20 years.
Oh, don't say that. That sounds.
We're still young though. We young. We young.
Old.
And she was so gracious to host tonight's live signing. So the way this works, many of you may be seeing the book. We have the book right here. You can see right there, okay? And I'm going to be signing books all night long for the next hour. You see how we did that? And if you want to get the book, you have to go to Devon Franklin Book. There we go. We got to go to devonfranklinbook.com. Go to devonfranklinbook.com. Hey, what's up, Instagram Live? Go to devonfranklinbook.com and you can order the book and we will sign it right now. Tonight, we'll sign every book that is ordered. So please go to Devon Franklin Book. This is a live book signing, and you can also tune in to the live signing. If you're on Instagram and you want to see what we're doing here, you can also go to devonfranklinbook.com and see the whole feed that we got. We got a feed, not just the Instagram feed. There's a real feed.
And if you want your, forget though, they can ask a question.
They can ask a question.
Yeah.
Right. I'm taking questions. Guess what? We're taking questions and phone calls.
Yes.
Phone calls. So if you want to call, again, go to devonfranklinbook.com. You can order the book right now, The Hollywood Commandments. This is my new book that comes out officially in a week. Yeah. And I just want to say one thing real quick, and then I want Patrice to take over. I wrote this book because I really, really believe that it's time for us to have the knowledge required to be successful. I've been in Hollywood for 20 years. I've had so many experiences, and I know these experiences weren't just for me, they were to share. And as a person of faith, sometimes there's a challenge and a fear of becoming successful in a secular environment. Yeah. So I wanted to write a book. I've been in Hollywood for 20 years, one of the most secular environments on the planet, and I found tremendous success by not compromising what I believe, yet understanding what makes Hollywood work. There are real success principles that I've been able to learn that I share in this book. So I wrote it because I want to help you become the success you were destined to become. I also want to help you overcome your fear, because too often we're afraid of becoming everything God wants us to be. So that's why I wrote this book, The Hollywood Commandments. Patrice has read it. So I'm going to let her. You take over because you know me.
I've read The Hollywood Commandments cover to cover. And what I love about it, Devon, is that it's not just for people who want to be in the entertainment industry.
Right.
This is any industry, any type of business, whether you're an entrepreneur or trying to go to the next level in your career. This matters, especially if you're a person of faith.
Wow.
Game changer.
Thank you.
Game changer. So you already kind of talked about why you wrote the book. But one of the things that I love that you said is that that church didn't teach you how to be successful.
Yeah.
Hollywood did.
Yes.
And so sometimes as people of faith, we feel a little timid about acknowledging right, that we have learned something from our secular endeavors.
Yes.
But what's your take on that? It's okay, right?
It is. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a quote that I knew was going to get some attention, but it's an honest quote. Yeah. In the book, I talk about the idea that the church didn't make me successful, Hollywood did. And what I mean by that is that everything I learned about practical success, how to become practically the person that I'm supposed to be, I learned in Hollywood. Yeah. I learned about negotiation in Hollywood. I learned about politics in Hollywood. I learned about how to make movies in Hollywood. I learned about how to deal with difficult personalities in Hollywood. So much of the practical application of success I learned here in this business. Right now, we're in Franklin Entertainment. We have an incredible office that God has blessed us with. Yet it came out of me understanding Hollywood and beginning to apply what I learned in Hollywood to leverage myself into the success that God had already ordained. Right. So that's why I say the church didn't make me successful, Hollywood did.
Yeah. And just with me being out there and speaking and also being very unapologetic about my faith, and I talk about money. So
I know.
America's money maven, and people always come to me with this timidness about, well, I don't really want any money, or, it's not about that.
Oh, you better, come on now.
Your gifts.
Yes.
I'm supposed to make room for you.
All right, now you preaching. Come on, Bishop. We got Bishop Washington here. She preaching.
But that's what it says. Like, I believe that the gifts that God gave us freely are the tools that we're supposed to use to get to our prosperity.
Absolutely.
And prosperity is our birthright.
Absolutely.
So we got it, but we're so ashamed to use it. We're so ashamed to say that we want success in our business or that we want the money. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it, but here's what I think sometimes we miss is that if we can get into the fullness of our purpose, if we can actually operate in the seat of our gifting, if we can actually do the thing that we're called to do, we don't have to worry about money. The reward is already attached to the revelation. Once we have the revelation of where we're supposed to be and we begin to walk in it, it's like finding the path, and along the path, everything you need is there. So too often we're chasing the money independent of the path. The path, purpose, destiny, those things are real things. And once we're on that path, money finds us. Rewards find us.
Attracted to it,
completely.
Right? It's attracted to you.
But it's like the equivalent of when we go on a drive. Do we have to worry that there's going to be a gas station? There's, no matter where you go in this country, if you're driving, now there may be gas stations spread out,
right,
but there's always a gas station on the path. Why?
Trust that there is.
Because we trust it.
Yeah.
Why? Because they know that there's going to be a lot of drivers and they're going to need gas to get where they're going. God operates the same way. He has stations along our path. Each one of us has a different path. And as long as we're on that path, we don't have to worry about the resource. We don't have to be worried about the opportunities. They're there. So I wanted to write the Hollywood Commandments to encourage people that are reading and living to be able to find the path and then have the strategy on how to navigate it for their success.
So basically, when God gives you the vision, the provision is already
That's right.
there.
That's right.
You just need to trust that
That's
the
right.
provision is
That's
there.
right. That's
and
exactly
one of
right.
the things that I love is this idea that all you have to do is take the next best step.
That's right.
Right? Because we get stuck.
We get
in
stuck.
Fear and procrastination.
Oh.
All this overthinking things because we want to know what the whole thing looks like. You didn't know 20 years. You had a vision.
Yes.
But you didn't know that 20 years ago you would be here.
Had no idea.
Working on your third bestseller.
Third bestseller in the name of Jesus. There it is. New York Times bestseller. Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that. You said something about procrastination. Procrastination, I just did a sermon a few weeks ago called Reclaiming My Time. And in that message, I said that procrastination is playing Russian roulette with your destiny. Yes, good. Yes. And I can tell you 20 years ago, if I had procrastinated, I wouldn't be here right now. So I felt the urge to be in Hollywood. I felt the urge that it was time to start. And as a result, I got started. And we're here now. So I really, if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on DevonFranklinBook.com, please get started in whatever you feel called to do. There are certain windows that don't stay open forever. So you got to move. You got to have an urgency. And one of the things I need you to be urgent about is ordering this book. Go to DevonFranklinBook.com. You can order the book right now and we will sign it. Look at this. I am signing books.
And
I want everybody to know.
Able to ask questions.
Autographed books.
You'll be able to ask questions. So speaking of questions,
what we got? We got some questions?
Lucas has a question. Lucas is from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Okay.
And he says, what was the most challenging part about writing this book?
All right. So Lucas from Stone Mountain, Georgia, wants to know the most challenging part of writing the book. For me, the most challenging part of writing the book is trying to take all of the thoughts that I have and putting them into concise, not just a concise framework, but concise takeaways. It's very hard to take all the knowledge I've learned over 20 years and put it into 10 lessons. Very, very hard.
But you did it. You did an excellent job.
That was God, and I have a great co-author. His name is Tim Vandehey, and a great editor at the publisher, Harper One. So it was a combination, and that was the hardest part. But I'll be honest with you, marketing and publicizing the book is much harder than writing the book, okay? So, you know, if you want to really write a book, is there an audio book? Yes, there's an audio book. You can get it on Audible. If you want to write a book, it is getting it to the world is the hardest part. So that was the hardest part.
A lot of people have books stacked up in their garage.
Yes.
They didn't wrote a book. But
that's right. They got
about the marketing.
That's right.
And you still have to get out there and share.
You do.
One of the things that I love about the book and what you were able to do really well was tell personal stories.
Yes.
And I love the story about you. For one, being Benny Medina's driver when you were an intern, and how those relationships really mattered. That's one of the things about, you know, my whole concept with redefining wealth. It's like one of the things is relationships matter.
Yes.
And so many times we take relationships for granted.
Yes.
And we think that we can overlook people. You use this term, oh my gosh, like we just don't acknowledge people the way that we should because of their title at the time.
Yes. Sometimes we overlook people because we don't think they're of value.
Yeah, and you talk about how those are the same people who will bless you later on.
That's right. That's right.
You got to be careful with that.
That's right. That's right. One of the commandments, the last commandment in the Hollywood commandments is your world is smaller than you think. And that's one of the commandments where I talk about this idea that too often we make a judgment, a misjudgment, that there are certain people that we don't need. There's certain people that we will never need again. So we burn a bridge, or we treat somebody the wrong way because we say, oh, they're just an assistant, or they're just a driver. Having no idea that that driver or that assistant is going to be the next CEO that then you're going to need information from, or you're going to need an opportunity from. But because the way you treated them, you might be messing up your own destiny. So I talk about this idea of treating everybody the same. And when it comes to service, that's where the Benny Medina story is. I used to drive Benny Medina, right? Benny Medina, many of you may know or may not know, he is the manager for Jennifer Lopez. He used to manage, co-manage Will Smith back in the day. He used to manage Babyface. He used to manage P. Diddy. And when I was an intern, my first internship, part of my duties was to drive him around. Now, many people thought like, oh, you know, I don't want to be somebody's driver. But I said, I want to be the driver because I get close to Benny. I get to hear the conversations. I get to learn how to do deals. I get to learn difficult things. And that opportunity, that job helped set me up for the job I'm doing now. I talk about that story in the commandment. You have to carry a crown before you wear one. You have to carry a crown before you wear one. So yes, it's important to serve, and service will be your key to success. I promise you that.
Absolutely. So first of all, you got to get back to DevonFranklinBook.com.
Yes.
Right? And make sure you pick up a book and ask a question. So we have a question from Kamaria in LA. She says, when you felt your faith wavering and doubted your future, how did you restore your strength to continue your journey beyond the unknown?
Okay, wait. Say that again. And Kamaria got a very involved question.
Yes.
Okay, so say it again.
Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt your faith waver?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have felt my faith waver many times. Many times, I must say, over this journey, because there were times when I'm believing in the dream and the vision so much and I don't see God doing it. I don't see progress. There were times I wouldn't see progress in my career, and I would believe in the vision that God would give me about where I was going to go. But in the moment, I didn't see how it was going to happen. And because I didn't see the how, I would begin to get frustrated. I would begin to get upset, and my faith wavered. It did. So yes, I've had those moments.
And so what restored it? Where did the strength come from?
You know, the strength came from revelation. There were moments when I would be completely depressed. I would be completely down and sad. And in those moments, God would say, okay, you're in your office. Okay, so if you're in your office, why would you be so upset? Okay, you're working in a job that is helping prepare you for where you're going to go. You are getting a paycheck, so you're able to take care of your car note. You're taking care of your rent. So why are you so frustrated right now? Relax. And God was like saying to me, trust me. And that is how I was able to make it through, by trusting him and then also focusing on the work in the moment. Too often our frustration over our future distracts us from the work we need to do in the moment. So one of the ways I began to refocus was, okay, what's in front of me? Even if it's not work I want to do, okay, well, maybe it's work I should do. Because too often we allow how we feel to dictate how we work, and that's wrong. Our job is to be accountable for how we get that paycheck, not how we feel.
Oh, that's good.
Because some days like, oh, I don't feel like it, so I'm going to give 85%. Okay, so then on that day, you don't even realize who's watching you. There could be somebody on that day that could bless you, but they see the 85%, so they won't release their 100%. So it's so important when we show up, we give that 100%. Even if we don't feel like it. I'm talking to somebody right now. I'm talking to somebody.
Good. So if you're on Instagram, Insta story, on Devon's Insta story, my Insta story, and you want to ask Devon a question, go to DevonFranklinBook.com, where you can purchase a book and submit your question. And we will get it in real time. And I will do my best to get to your question. So while we're answering questions, let me grab another one here. This is from, it looks like Mary. What is your advice for someone struggling and waiting for love?
All right, Mary.
Okay, Mary.
You know, I heard a great preacher say one time, in order to be found, you must be findable. Meaning, too often when we're looking for love, we don't get out enough. Paul Brunson, who's a good friend of mine, has a book.
I love Paul.
Paul's awesome. He has a book called It's Complicated. And one of the things he says in It's Complicated is sometimes finding the right person can just be math. Meaning the more dates you go on, the more you put yourself out there, the greater probability you have that you're going to be able to find the person. So what I would say is if you're struggling and you're single, I would say don't struggle, submit. You can't control, you and I can't control when the person that is meant for us is going to show up. Can't control that, right? So instead of struggling with our singleness, embrace it and say, hey, you know what? I'm single for a reason. Let me enjoy it. Let me enjoy my singleness. Let me not get anxious over it. Let me enjoy the time. So I would encourage you to enjoy the time. I would encourage you to open yourself up to every avenue by which you can find love, and be in expectation. And know that if you're single right now, it's for a reason, and it's also for a season, meaning it's going to change.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
Amen.
There's another great story that you actually tell about when your wife, your beautiful bride, Megan Good, was thinking about or wanted
being an action star.
Be an action star. And you had to kind of give her some tough love, advice, coaching.
Yes, what happened was, and if you're on Instagram, go to devonfranklinbook.com so you can get your book signed right now. We are live signing books, all right? So please, if you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, and if you have not purchased, you can make the purchase tonight. If you have not purchased the book, The Hollywood Commandments, my new book, you can go do it right now. So in The Hollywood Commandments, the story you're talking about is an anecdote that I give in the very first commandment, the very first chapter, which is called Your Prayers Alone Are Not Enough. Your prayers alone are not enough. Now, yes, 'cause too often we pray about it, but we're not about it. We don't do it. Yeah. So it's not enough just to pray. On some things you got to do. And so what I was saying, and thankful to my amazing wife who allowed me to put it in the book. So Megan, I'll give the story very quickly. Megan wanted to be an action star, and she really wanted to get more consideration for action roles. And so during this period of time, I would come home from work, and there she would be on the couch watching TV. And I would say to her, did you go to the gym today? And she'd be like, no, I didn't go to the gym. And I'm like, all right, wouldn't say nothing. After the next day, I'd come home, I would ask her, did you go to the gym today? No, I didn't go to the gym. So the next night when this happened, God basically was telling me to say something. So after she said she didn't go to the gym, I said to her, I said, babe, can I tell you something? You know, will you promise not to get mad at me? And she said, yes. I said, okay. I said, you want an action star role, but you don't have an action star lifestyle. I said, how can you expect something to manifest that you yourself are not preparing for? I said, every action star I know, they are in the gym every day because that's critical to being able to execute what is required in those action movies. So I said to her, I said, my love, you really need to start preparing for what you're praying for. And so in that moment, you know, she was quiet and she didn't really say a lot. And then she was like, okay. And the next day I came home and I said, wait a minute, your hair looks sweated out. She had been in the gym and she started going to the gym. She started enjoying the gym. It started changing her physicality. And lo and behold, there was this project, action project, that is one of the top action movies that has ever been done. And the studio behind that film came to her and offered her an action part to do the television version of that movie. And it literally would not have happened had she not begun to prepare for it. So once they offered her the part, she was ready. All because she started to prepare for what she was praying for. So I don't know who this is for, but it's important to start preparing for your prayers. Anything you pray for, get up and prepare for it now. You can get that. Commandment number 1, Hollywood Commandments, DevonFranklinBook.com, DevonFranklinBook.com, DevonFranklinBook.com.
Someone who is prepared to ask you a question.
What we got? More questions. Let's go.
Tiffany from Nashville has been on hold waiting to ask her question.
Where we at?
She's on the phone. You got to
Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing?
Doing great. I'm such a fan of everything that you do and put out. I listen to you as much as I can on YouTube, and I have your books, and I'm so excited to ask you a question.
Yes, I'm excited for you to ask me a question too. What you got?
So, I, I don't know exactly how to put it in question form, so I'm just going to kind of go for it here.
Okay.
So what advice would you give in a situation? Because I know that, you're married, you're very successful, both of you are busy. And with that, let's say it comes around where it's a celebration of her birthday or your birthday, and there's work that has to be done during that time. How do you balance making that person feel special and giving them time, like let's say you're on vacation, giving them that personal time to enjoy each other and celebrate her on her birthday, but also having the balance of, let's say you did have a job to do at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
How so basically, like, how do you balance that out? Because as a woman, if I'm dating a guy who is in the industry and he's very busy and he has work to do while it's my birthday and we're on vacation, I'm happy and
Right.
he's happy he's doing work. But I also want to be able to have time to myself and
Yeah.
feel like I can have him alone without work always getting in the way.
Okay.
So what type of advice would you give on both ends of the woman to have kind of that understanding of if this is his business, but also
Mm-hmm.
needing that time without feeling selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and then also the advice you would give the guy to kind of balance that out,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, sure. How long has the relationship been going on?
2 years.
Okay. And do you feel validated in other ways?
I do. I feel like and we have talked about it since then, and there was some communication that went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that made the situation feel very uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we still kind of have talked about even our future. How can we really balance that out to where um, I can still feel like I have him alone sometimes, even though he has work to do.
Is the
Um,
work, I mean, but is the work like eating up most of your time together, or is it just occasionally?
well, we're also long distance as well,
Oh boy.
so
Oh boy.
yeah. So we have that. We have
Mm-hmm.
that, and then the times we do get together, there are a lot of times that he has work, even during the times we're together.
Right.
And he's so to put it in terms, he's a photographer, so he has to basically every opportunity that he has to put out work and work with a company or a model or anything of that nature, he goes for it because he's like,
Right.
I'm not working in my career yet, so I just have to take every opportunity. But if it's like my birthday or anniversary, I kind of want that time, but I don't know how to like make that work without seeming selfish at the
Mm-hmm.
same time.
Okay, okay, I get it. I get it. I mean, okay, I have a couple things to say, and I'll try to be concise because I know we have some other callers, but I want to make sure you get what you need.
Thank you.
The couple things are that, 2 years is a really good mark to really evaluate where the relationship is going. And what I can tell you, again, not knowing all the specifics, but there's twofold. Either he legitimately is not making time for you, and so how you feel is legit, or if there may be a past insecurity on your part from potentially a previous relationship, that could also be skewing how you are receiving the time that he is trying to offer you.
Okay.
So let's assume, though, that how you feel is legitimate and valid. One of the things to look at is that, if a man does not feel validated in their work by the one they're with, that sometimes can cause that man to feel not completely connected to the woman he's with. And so it's not so much about putting work over you, because if you look at work as the enemy, then it's always going to be the enemy in your relationship, even if it leads to marriage. So work is not the enemy. Work actually is there to help facilitate the relationship, because the more that there is work, the more that there is compensation, the better quality, the higher quality of life there can be, right? So work is not the problem. So don't look at work as the enemy. What could be the problem is one of two things. One, his interest level may not be there to the degree where he is willing to modify how he's working to make you comfortable. Two, if it's not a work thing, I would ask you to really sit down with him and say, okay, hey, it's 2 years. Here's how I feel. Do you feel the same way? Where is this going? Because you never want to put it to a man to choose you over the work. That's not going to work. However, you can express to him how you feel and say, is there a way to work this out? Because if it is your birthday and your birthday's not being celebrated, that's something to look at. You got to look at that. Don't overlook that and think that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Right. But is he finding other ways to celebrate your birthday? Is he apologetic that, hey, I can't do it this way because I'm working? Let me make sure you feel celebrated in other ways. Again, I don't know the answer to all those questions. But what I would say to him is that if you're serious about your woman, listen to her, hear what she has to say. And as a man, having dealt with work, and I deal with work all the time, there's nothing more important than my wife. So if I got to stop a meeting to take a call from her, if I got to, adjust my work life so that she feels more, content and happy, I will do it. I won't stop my work life because I was working when she met me. So I don't believe she wants me to stop working, but I will modify how I'm working to make sure that she knows she's loved and appreciated. If your man is not willing to do that, then that just may be a sign to you that you have to decide where you want to take the relationship. So I hope some of this has been helpful to you. Again, if it's not a previous situation, if it's not an insecurity on your part, then how you feel is legit. Yet don't go to your man in anger. Go to him in love. Sit down with him. Talk to him. Express to him how you feel. And then give him a chance to respond. And if his response is not sufficient to give you comfort, then you may need to look at what you want to do going forward.
Okay. Yeah, and I know you do have other callers, but just to clarify something, if that's okay.
Please.
Is that okay, or do you need to hang up?
No, go ahead, clarify. Clarify, girl. Clarify, Tip.
Thank you so much. So basically, just to clarify real quick, so we have, it was basically more so like me trying to figure out, because he accommodated in other ways, but I was like, well, it's my birthday. It should be just, all about me, and work shouldn't even play a factor. But he's like, if I don't take this opportunity, like this opportunity could open up many doors for me. So this makes me happy. So you should feel happy. He still celebrated with me. But I was just like, well, am I ever going to have time where it's just me and work doesn't have to come into play? Let's say if it's just like a 2 or 3 day vacation for a birthday or anniversary. I thought, well, maybe
But let me ask you this: do you ever see him by yourself and he's not working?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. So all right, Tiffany, we got to the root of this. You don't put false like you have to let your relationship be what your relationship is. Every relationship is different. So it's like an organism. None of us are the same. None of us have the same DNA. None of us have the same makeup. So we have to embrace our makeup. So you got to embrace the makeup of your relationship and not put these artificial things on your relationship saying, oh, well, it's my birthday, so it needs to be celebrated this way. If he's showing you he loves you, if he's making sure you're celebrated, and he still has to do work, but he wants to make sure, even in addition to his work, you're good, then don't put an expectation that he's got to celebrate it a certain way. It'd be one thing if he's not celebrating it, but if he is celebrating it because he's trying to express to you you're important, and at the same time he's trying to keep his livelihood alive, then that's a man that is trying his best to find the balance, which should be celebrated on your part, not being met with negativity and frustration and in letting him know that he's not good enough. Because what you're saying to him is the way that he's trying to celebrate you doesn't meet your standard.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that really helps a lot. I really appreciate that advice.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's, the last thing I'm going to say is, if you got a good man, and he really is trying, the best thing you could do is to accept love how he's bringing it to you, and not based on your ideal. Because an ideal, we all have ideals, but ideals are false. Ideals are created by what movies we watched growing up, what happened in our family, what didn't happen. And we have these ideals, and then we want to hold somebody hostage to an ideal that's not real to begin with. So embrace your man for who he is. Evaluate if he really loves you by what he does, and be okay to allow your response to be modified based upon what your relationship is, not some ideal you're trying to make it to become. So, Tiff, you're awesome. God bless you. We got to go to the next caller. Take care. All right.
That was great.
Sorry, y'all. That just took a little bit longer to answer because it was a little more complicated.
But it says a lot about your heart too.
Oh, yeah,
just your heart for people and how you know you went and you asked more questions. That was good.
I was trying to really get to the root of it, and it seemed like we finally got there, and she received it.
That was good. Well, we do have another.
Please, more questions. What we got?
This is from Jennifer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She says, "How do you know when your dream is truly an ordained dream, a path to take or purpose?" And not just something you think you have to do.
Got it. I'm going to answer her question. Y'all got to go to DevonFranklinBook.com. We are right now, you can get your book signed. We are doing a live signing, DevonFranklinBook.com. If you're watching on Facebook, go get your book tonight. This is the only live signing we're doing of my new book, The Hollywood Commandments. People from all over the world are getting this book. We're only going to be live for another 30 minutes. So you got to act fast. You got to act fast. This is not even a pre-order. This is order. You can get it right now. So how do you basically know the vision that you have for your life is from God? That's essentially what it sounds like. She's asking. Give me her name again.
Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer from Baton Rouge. I hope you're watching. God bless you if you are. What I know is that how God operates, at least in my life, and what I like to help people do, is that when you close your eyes, what is the trailer you see for your mind? What is the trailer you see play in the screen of your mind? So when you close your eyes, what is the vision you get for your life? And when you see that vision, how do you know it's God? Wait a minute. Wait a couple days. Close your eyes again. What do you see? As you continue to see the same things, the same images, the same visions, now you can begin to see, okay, maybe God has given me clues. Then what I do is I take the vision and I combine it with what am I good with? What is my talent? What is my passion? And the vision usually aligns with the passion, usually aligns with the talent. And you begin to get clues on what it is you and I are supposed to do with our life. Now, the fourth ingredient is faith. There's some things you're not going to know if you're supposed to do it until you step out and you try it. Growing up, I wanted to be in Hollywood. Every time I close my eyes, I see the vision. Every time I looked at my talent, I thought I had a talent for it. And I certainly had a passion for it. But just sitting there in Oakland, California and saying, okay, I got the talent, I got the passion, I got the vision, I got the prayer. If I sat there, it never would have happened. I had to put myself in the environment of Hollywood. I had to have faith. I had to come to Los Angeles. I had to move. I had to get uncomfortable to get evidence of whether or not it's what I was supposed to do. And once I stepped foot in Hollywood, God began to give me clarification and confirmation that this is where I was supposed to be. So that is what I would encourage you to do, because I know that it works. Faith works, but it's not about just let me just go out there and just be emotional. Right. Oh, I'm just gonna try this. No. What do you see? What do you feel? What's your talent? What's your passion? And then you got to put some faith behind that.
Yeah. It has to all be in alignment.
That's right. That's right.
In alignment. We have another question. I'm curious to know if there's anything that didn't make the cut. When you wrote this book, something interesting that just didn't fit into the narrative.
That's a good question. Yeah. Did anything not make the cut in the Hollywood Commandments? Go to DevonFranklinBook.com. That's a good question. What was the last chapter? It was peace, but what was I going to call it? Oh, man. What was that? I will survive. Yes. I wrote some language in the book for the epilogue, and I was going to call the epilogue, You Will Survive. And I wrote some things, and then working with Tim, my co-author, he said, look, every time you get off the phone, you say peace. He's like, that's how you got to end this book. So I said, boom, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So the You Will Survive part did not make it into the book. So maybe I'll repackage that for the next book.
Well, that leads me to the next. Someone says, how do you define success? And I know your definition.
Yes, I define success as peace. I define success as peace. When I can wake up in the morning and feel good about myself, when I can look in the mirror and like who looks back at me, when I can operate in my calling and I have a sense of peace, I am successful. It is not how much money I make. It is not the car I drive. It is not the bag you carry, all right? It's not the shoes you wear. It is the peace you have in your spirit when you are living this life. That is success. I also put in the book, I want to read this part because this is very, very important related to this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, yep. Here's what I wrote in the book about peace and about who this book is for. I said, let me be clear about one thing. If your goal is to get the house of a lifetime, the car of your dreams, or more money than you know how to handle, this book is not for you. I don't care if you ever drive a Bentley, own a private jet, carry a Birkin bag, come on somebody, or buy a mansion in the hills. I don't care. What I care about is seeing you live out your God-given purpose in this life, walking your calling and unleash the full power of your gifts. If you feel stuck in your career, feel a deep sense that there's more to life than the life you're living, or if you're just looking for information about how to get to the next level, this book is for you.
Ooh,
come on.
that's good.
DevonFranklinBook.com. Get your book right now.
Get your book now and get your questions answered. We have more questions.
More questions. Let's go. More questions.
Ooh.
We're
Well,
going to answer
actually,
all the questions tonight.
Ty from Vineland, New Jersey just wants to say thank you for being a great mentor. And
Oh.
congratulations on the release. Congratulations on the release of Hollywood Commandments.
Oh, thank you,
And
Ty.
one
God
of the
bless
things
you.
you mentioned actually in the book is about virtual mentors.
Yes.
Because people always think that you have to sit down with someone,
Right.
have coffee every week. Most of the people that you want to mentor you don't even have that type of time.
That's true. That's
Right?
true. So I'm a big proponent of this idea of virtual mentorship. That means identify the person in your field or the people in your field that you aspire to be like, that you admire, that you think that their success is something you would want to emulate, and then you get them as a virtual mentor. How do you get the book? DevonFranklin.com. Sorry, DevonFranklinBook.com. That's how you get the book. And what you do as a virtual mentor is you identify those people you want to emulate, and you begin to follow them. You begin to watch their talks. You begin to support their work. Now you have a virtual mentor, because so many times the people in your industry, you can learn from them just by watching them from afar. There were people in Hollywood that I still have not met, but they were my virtual mentors, heads of studios that I would watch and read all their articles, read all their interviews. I would look at the movies they would make. And from that, I would begin to learn how to navigate my own career. So virtual mentorship is very important. And yes, I can be your virtual mentor. Part of the mentorship is getting the book.
It's in the book.
DevonFranklinBook.com. Order the book right now. We got somebody from South Africa at 3 a.m. in the morning watching this. Thank you so
That's
much,
awesome.
Leza. God bless you all the way in South Africa. We got people all over the world tuned in right now. Go to Devon Franklin Book right now, and you can order your book right now, and we will sign it. It's a live signing. This is live. This is not tape. All right, this is live. We signing books right now. You want your book signed? DevonFranklinBook.com. We're trying to move hundreds of books tonight. Let's go.
Someone asked, actually, what do you consider your greatest blessing?
Oh, wow. My greatest blessing is being able to wake up every morning, having a relationship with God, and feeling completely embraced, not just by His love, but by His destiny for me. That is the greatest gift, because every other thing comes out of that. If I didn't feel centered in God, I don't know that I'd be able to enjoy the other blessings that come from that. The blessing of my wife, the blessing of this job, the blessing of the movies, the book, so on and so forth. It is that relationship with God and waking up every day saying, okay, I feel Him. And that means, okay, I have purpose. There's a plan. Okay, I feel good about that. That's a blessing. That's the greatest blessing.
That's good. That's good. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have a question. Can I ask
please,
a question?
Yeah, please,
okay.
ask a
I
question.
promise I'm gonna get back to your question. I promise. But there was something that stood out when I interviewed you the other day for my podcast. This is one of the questions I didn't get to ask because it got too good. You talked about in the book the talent mentality.
Yes.
Right? And, and it really struck a chord with me because, as you know, I'm a speaker and an author and all this stuff now. But growing up, I always felt like I didn't have a talent.
Right.
I always felt like, you know, I play sports, but I'm not going to the WNBA, you know, or like I'm good at different things, but I don't dance, I don't sing, you know, that's not really going to work out. And I took for granted so long my talent of inspiring and empowering and encouraging people. And you talked about that. Can you explain what the talent mentality is? Because I know there has to be other people.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You know, this talent mentality is so important. And what it is that you have to believe that you are the talent. That not only do you have a talent, but you are the talent. Hollywood is a town run by talent. Either you are the talent in Hollywood or you service the talent. And too often I've seen people service other people's talent at the expense of their own. As you are serving other people's talent, you still have to know you are talent. And that talent mentality is a confidence mentality. It is a purpose mentality. It is every day I get up and I know who I am. I know what I have to offer, and I feel good about that. It helps eradicate insecurity because so much of our insecurity comes because we don't believe we have what it takes to make it. And we look at other people as having more of what it is required to make it than we do. And as a result, we become insecure, we become depressed, we self-loathe, we have self-pity. And the reason why I wrote the commandment that you are the talent is to remind you that you are talent. You are worthy of every great gift that talent receives in this earth. You need to know that God created you with talent and you are talent. You got to have that talent mentality. You got to be confident. You got to be purposeful, and you got to know that the environment that you're in, when you operate in talent, your confidence will ultimately prepare the way for where you're supposed to be.
That's good.
That's what it means to be the talent. Go to DevonFranklinBook.com. If you want to get your question answered, go to DevonFranklinBook.com. We're live signing these books. If you want your question answered, go to DevonFranklinBook.com. Order the book. Ask a question. We got you.
That was good. So we have a question from Shaniqua.
Shaniqua
in Bronx, New York.
What up?
Okay, so you have to listen because it's detailed. Okay.
I see.
But you have to sign.
We're going to keep signing.
Okay. I'm a life coach and health coach at my own company, A Better You. It seems as though the rules for this industry have been created by the secular world, which lately doesn't sit well with me. How, as a Christian coach, can I change the rules to the game while serving God's people without all the secular influences of business?
Okay, wow. My Lord. Shaniqua, the name of my book is The Hollywood Commandments, a spiritual guide to secular success. Oh, whoops, sorry, y'all. I turned the camera around. Safia, you should say hi. The name of my book, Shaniqua, is a spiritual guide to secular success. I believe the challenge for people of faith is that we have not embraced the secular world enough. That's why I wrote the book, because I believe that there are great things we can learn from being in a secular environment, a secular industry, that can help us become successful in a way that aligns with our spirituality and our faith. And too long, I believe people of faith have been kept back in industry because we have feared the secular, we have demonized the secular, when biblically I don't see the foundation for it. Look at the text, Daniel. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, the whole book of Daniel. You have Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Babylon. And the more they honor God, the more they honor their faith. Never once does God say, come out of Babylon. No, the more they honor God in their faith, He takes them deeper and higher. And they learn a lot of valuable information about how to navigate their careers in the secular environment. So I would encourage you, if you are a life coach in a secular environment, embrace what the environment is telling you. Embrace what the industry is saying. Now, what you can do is once you know the rules, then you can play the game. That's commandment number 4. You got to know the rules to play the game. Once you know the rules of your industry, then you can play it. It doesn't mean that you have to change your message as a life coach. As a matter of fact, Once you understand what the secular rules are, then you can begin to play it in a way that aligns with what you believe. I hope that helps you, Shaniqua.
That's good. That's good. I love that part in the book too,
yes.
where you break that down, because I know for me personally, because I talk about finances, initially I was so timid.
Oh boy.
You know, about bringing up my faith, but it's just in me.
That's right.
So I would find myself on stages, and then I would make a reference, and I had someone say to me once, you know, I love what you did. Can you leave out the churchy stuff next time? And that was the first time I had really been kind of confronted with it.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that's a no.
No, I gotta be me. I gotta be me, and I gotta do me.
And I became more and more unapologetic about it, because that's who I am.
Right.
And from the moment that I stepped into that, things just started to take off in my career.
I believe it.
It just blew my mind, because it was my truth.
You gotta operate in your truth.
Yeah.
If you're watching, you gotta operate in your truth. You got to operate in your truth. You got to operate in your truth. Patrice just gave an excellent point. Operate in your truth. Your truth is your power.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, we have another call, another powerful call.
Okay.
Mac in Philly. Come on, ask your question, Mac.
Oh, the phone. Hey, what's up, Mac?
Mac?
Hello.
What up? What's up? What's up, Mac? How you doing, dog?
How are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wanted to know, how do you know when you found your purpose? Oh, hello?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're here, Mac. Waiting on you, my brother.
Yes. How do you know when you found your purpose in life?
How do you know when you found it?
Yeah, because your spiritual purpose is actually different from your personal purpose.
Who said that?
Me.
Where'd you find that? Who taught you that?
Myself. I guess
Mac.
You're honest, Mac.
Fearful of my purpose,
yeah, man.
I'm still trying to find it.
Okay, good. Man, dude, look, I'm so glad you called. This is exactly why I wrote this book, because of this very thing. Too often we separate what is meant to be combined. Everything God put in us, He is going to use for our purpose, for our success, and our destiny. Too often we think, okay, there's something different on the spiritual side that I'm supposed to do, and there's something other on the personal side I'm supposed to do. I don't believe that. I believe our power comes from our purpose, which is going to impact our personal side, our spiritual side, our professional side, our emotional side. So how do you know when you found it? You're going to know you found it. So I would believe, Mac, that you have not found it yet. You may be on your way to finding it, because when you operate in purpose, there is a sense of peace. There's a sense of excitement. There's a sense that, right now, let me give you an example. So I've been working on this book, been promoting the book, been speaking, everywhere, traveling the country, doing Instagram, Facebook Lives, wearing myself out. The only way that I have the strength to talk to you right now is because my purpose energizes me.
Absolutely.
So if you aren't energized, if you aren't enthusiastic about what you're doing, it's a good clue that maybe you haven't found your purpose yet.
Right.
Now, do you know what you're good at? Do you know what your gifts are?
I am good at smiling. People always stop me in the street, whether it's the homeless or whatever. They always feel the need to approach me. I am very, very, very approachable, and I am like a computer nerd. So I love actually using the computer. So those are some of my gifts. But I'm always being stopped on the street, and I'm always being told about my smile. And I feel that I'm able to relate to almost everyone.
Well, what's interesting about what you said is you talked about people notice you for something which requires your personality, but the thing you like to do is basically you in front of a computer screen, right? So that's a very interesting dance you're going to have to do, because people like your personality, but one of your passions basically takes you away from people. So what I would recommend is is there a way to merge your love for computers along with your personality? And given, all of the ways we have to reach people, whether it's through Instagram Live, Facebook Live, all of these ways that technology allow us to reach people, I would lean into your personality. What people are responding to in you is a good clue of maybe what God wants to do in your life. And clearly your smile and your personality is a big part of that. So don't think that that's going to be independent of your calling. Begin to look at how that actually may be a big part of your calling.
And I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. That is the big thing on my heart.
Yeah.
I have a story to tell because I was a child born with cerebral palsy.
Wow.
I have overcome a lot of obstacles in life, and I think that it's going to relate to actually a disability.
Wow, there you go. See, you already know. You already know. You already have the clues. I mean, first of all, it's amazing, Mac, and your story and testimony is going to help so many people. And you already have the ingredients. Now you just got to start putting it together. You got to start putting it together. You got the ingredients, right? So you already have the ingredients for success. You already have the ingredients for your purpose. Now you just got to start putting that thing together and watch as you start putting these different elements together. The path is going to be made very, very clear for you.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for that advice. I think it's going to be very, very helpful for me, and it's going to be very beneficial to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Devon. And I bought actually 2 copies of your book.
Oh.
I am going to give one to my cousin. She's actually watching you right now.
Oh, thank you. What's your cousin's name?
Her name is Kendra Bailey.
Kendra Bailey. What's up, Kendra? How you doing? I hope you're good. Listen, if you Mac's cousin, then I know you good. God bless you, okay?
Thank you so much, Devon.
You got it, my brother. Take care now. Peace.
Okay,
There you
Devon.
go. Yes.
First of all, if you're just joining us on Facebook Live or Insta Story, then, or is it Insta Story Live?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it's Insta Story something and DevonFranklinBook.com. Wherever you're tuning in from, right?
DevonFranklinBook.com. You can go there, get a copy of Devon's new book, The Hollywood Commandments, and well, we've been taking questions. It's kind of winding down.
Yeah.
So we have, I think this might be one of the last questions, and then I want to play a little game.
Uh-oh, we're going to play a game in a minute, y'all. We're about to play a game.
But this question is, how did the research or preparation for this book have an impact on your own life now? Your faith, your walk?
That's a good question. How did the research have an impact on my own life now? You know, as I write about faith and as I write about, you know, what is required to be successful, I don't write about it independent of my own experience with it. So anything I talk about is actually what I'm going through as well. So as I'm writing the book, even though these experiences come from my experience, no, we're doing them. Bell Meeting, we're doing them. Another wave will come out this week, so don't worry, you got it. Okay. Sorry, I just had to make sure she knew we took care of her personalized video. But what I realized through writing the book was, sometimes you think you have more faith than you do. And so there were some moments I'm writing the book, I'm like, yo, my faith is not high enough. I'm really not believing God enough. I mean, really, because as I'm writing the book and I'm trying to encourage you, the reader, there have been some things that I was like, oh man, I got to have more faith. I got to really trust that God is going to do what I believe he's going to do in my life. And when I was writing, I was like, man, I kind of believe, but I need to believe more.
Yeah.
And part of believing is sometimes acting like you are before you are.
Ooh.
And owning it, and like I'm writing the book and we're designing the cover and I'm like, oh man, like, is that too bold? But it's like, you got people out there in the culture right now being bold about whatever they want to be bold about. And I'm going to be afraid to be bold about knowledge and be bold about God and be bold about, no, I'm not going to be afraid. I says, I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
So writing the book really helped me own my distinctiveness and own my faith at a great level.
It reaffirms some stuff for
Absolutely.
you too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it reaffirms that, you know what? I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about.
And some of those lessons that you it's in you because you've learned it, you walked it, but sometimes you forget how to articulate it. And this pushes you to do that, right?
It sure does.
I mean, this book is phenomenal.
Sign it now. Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Truly.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that because
I know.
in your beautiful office.
I know.
I really, really mean
Patrice
it.
keeps it real. It wasn't true. She wouldn't say.
Right. So I want to play a quick game. It's called 22 questions in 2 minutes, but I know you, so this is not possible.
I'm going to do my best.
We're going to do the best.
We're going to keep these questions short.
We're going to do the best that we could do. Okay, so let's see. What is your favorite snack?
Vegan banana pudding from Simply Wholesome.
Oh, good. Look at you. In one little Simply Wholesome over on Slauson.
That's right.
Okay. How do you take your coffee?
I don't like coffee. I don't like coffee.
Good. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning. Top of the morning. Early bird gets the worm. I love morning.
Let's see. What's your favorite pastime?
Hanging out with my wife.
Aw, good answer. Good answer. Okay, what is the last album you bought or streamed?
The last album that I bought or streamed was Marvin Sapp's new album called Close. I just downloaded that. I also just downloaded Brian Poplin's new album. If you haven't got that, get that. Got some great stuff on that. I just downloaded Travis Green's new album. If you ain't got that, get that. So,
nice.
I've just been on the gospel tip recently, Hey, Hollywood Commandments is coming out. Got to keep my faith high.
That's right. Okay, do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any hidden talents? That's a good question. Do I have hidden talents? I know how to bake cakes. I like to bake.
Really?
Yep.
That's the part.
Oh, yeah.
I can't really see you all buff in the
Oh,
kitchen.
I love it. I love it. Baking.
Well, come on, Devon.
I love it. I love it.
I'd like a cake. My birthday's in March. Let's see. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
I want to go to the motherland. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Africa.
You've never been to Africa?
Never been.
Really?
Never been.
Oh, you
Never
got
been.
I know they want you in South Africa.
I know.
We have to make that happen.
We were trying to go this year after Christmas. It just didn't work out.
Oh, we
So
have
yeah,
to make that
okay,
happen.
definitely want to do that.
Absolutely.
Want to come to Africa. I went to Israel last. We went to Israel last Christmas. It was amazing.
Amazing. Okay, let's see. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Whew, my biggest pet peeve is lack of preparation. When someone has an opportunity to do a job and they don't take the preparation to do it, it's like, well, what are we talking about? Like that really, and because I run a company too, my pet peeve is if you haven't fully vetted it and you bring it to me and then I have the answer, then I have a problem. So, lack of preparation.
I'm about to fall apart here because that's my biggest pet peeve. I'm like trying to keep it together.
Keep it together.
Let's see. How much time do we have? Okay, I can
do it. Keep going. Let's go.
Who is the most unexpected person in your phone?
You can get an autographed copy of the book, Devon Franklin. Go to DevonFranklinBook.com. DevonFranklinBook.com. Go right now. Right now, you can get an autographed copy. All right, that's how you get it. Even if you're in Canada, you can get it.
Yep.
Thank you. If you're there, Facebook, DevonFranklinBook.com. People are asking me questions on how to get the book. Thank you, Reigning Success, for putting the website information there.
Yes.
DevonFranklinBook.com. Go right now because we can't be live too much longer. So if you want your book signed live, you got to go right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who is the most unexpected person in your phone?
You know what? I can't tell you because if I tell you, then you're going to want to steal my phone.
Yeah.
But I got some unexpected people, some very important people in my phone, but I can't tell it. It's a secret. And actually, I don't even put their names in the phone. I just put their initials. All right? So I ain't going to tell you initials because y'all somebody going to want to take the phone.
Because now I know who to look for. Now I know what to look for. Okay. Who makes you laugh the most? Who makes you laugh the most?
My cousin Trent. My cousin Trent. Oh, because he's hilarious. He's the best. I mean, every time we're around, we just laugh about the funniest, craziest stuff. He just has the best sense of humor.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, we have, the last 6 books? Let me see. Just for right now, there's more. So you can still go to DevonFranklinBook.com, get your book. Let's see. Oh, there's so many about being in your phone. Okay, what's your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple. I love it. Oh, yeah, pineapple pizza's the best. Might just give me some tonight. Thank you. Idelia Lopez, thank you so much. Y'all, we could only be on Instagram for another 25 seconds. We've already live streamed for an hour.
Yes.
I can't believe you guys have hung in there. If you don't have the book yet, go to Devon Franklin Book right now. We will live sign your book. Pineapple, yes. Game changer. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. If anybody's watching tonight, just know that I'm praying for your success. I know the Hollywood Commandments will bless you. It'll be in stores everywhere 1 week from today, but you can get it right now, DevonFranklinBook.com. God bless. All right, so we're still on live. Okay, cool.
All right, Facebook Live is still going. I think we're still going on Facebook Live. So
what else? Anything else you got in there?
Let me see. What item would you love to get your hands on if it went up for auction? Ooh, that's good.
If it went up for auction. That's interesting. That implies that somebody has it right now.
You're so deep. That implies.
I got to think about that one. You got to come back to that. I don't know. I got to think about that one.
Okay, let's see. What color is your toothbrush?
I got this ugly black and orange toothbrush. Colgate.
Black and orange. Let's see. What cause is dear to your heart?
You know, one of the causes that is, really, really dear to my heart is health. You know, I've done some work in the past with the American Heart Association. My father died of a heart attack when he was 36. So, you know, this idea of taking care of ourselves is very, very important to me. So that's something that's very, very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the last gift you gave or received?
The last gift I gave or received, well, I just gave somebody some money. And it was a gift.
Okay. Now don't slide in these DMs. Don't slide in the direct message.
Right.
Devon.
I did give some money. I did. And what was the last gift I received? I had a speaking engagement over the weekend, and somebody gave me their book.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's my next question. What is the last book you read?
Oh wow. I'd have to look at my phone. You know what? There's a book called The Prodigal God by Timothy Keller, and that book is just amazing. And then, if I remember correctly, that's the last book I read.
Okay. And you really got through these 22
Is
questions.
it Timothy? No, it's not Timothy Keller. I'm sorry. I gotta look that up because. Oh no! Hold on. Hold up, yo. Okay. I'm just saving this video. Okay. It's not Timothy Keller. Timothy Keller wrote, if I'm correct, The One Thing. That book is amazing. If you don't have that book, get that book.
Yeah.
Get that book. I'm telling you, that book is incredible. The Prodigal God is written by another guy. I'm going to look it up as soon as I can pull my phone.
Okay.
We'll come back to it. What else you got?
Who inspires you the most?
Honestly, I would say Megan. You know, I would say my wife inspires me the most. I mean, she just, the way she lives, the way she just owns her difference, just the way just her personality. I'm just like, man, you know, every day I'm like, man, how do I get to be more like you?
Aww,
you know? So, yeah.
That's sweet. I love it. Okay, we won't go back into your phone. Who was one fictional character you'd love to date?
To date? Fictional character?
Oh, yes, that's to date.
To date?
After he just gave...
Oh,
okay,
no.
so we...
Oh, no, I don't be thinking about dating nobody but my wife.
What about one fictional character you'd love to meet?
One fictional character I'd like to meet. Bugs Bunny.
You go like a Bugs Bunny. You were definitely all over the place.
Trust me.
Every time I open an email, turn on the radio here in LA, I'm like, it's Devon. It's Devon. It's Devon.
You know what? It is? Oh, it is. Sorry, it is The Prodigal God by Timothy Keller. It is. It really is. I was right. Great. Okay.
Good.
But you know what? You know what I believe? Mm-hmm. There are some careers that are like the Will Smith career, where you know you're on the path early and you hit it early. And there are some careers that are like the Sam Jackson career, where you just keep going, and you keep believing, you keep showing up, and eventually you get to that level. It comes out of showing up.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Sam and what took him to become the star that he is today. He just kept working, showing up, working. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a page out of that book. I'm gonna take a page out of the DJ Khaled book. I'm like, yo, we just gonna go. Right. We're gonna keep pushing. Y'all may not like me after this, but I'm like Tupac. You know what I mean? When Tupac just had, I mean, think about it. How many songs he recorded
in such a short
He just kept working, going. I feel like that. I feel like I got an urgency. I got a message. I just feel like I gotta help people. So that's what this is about, and that's why you see me everywhere. Cause I just can't stop talking about it. Yeah. I just can't stop. I can't. I'm looking for more. I need more.
I saw you at the Black Love screening.
Yes.
On OWN Black Love, and I just love the way that you stayed afterwards and people just lined up and you just would not, they had to pull you. You had to be pried away. But I always say that just shows your heart for what you do, for people, just for your work, everything. You know, you put your all, and it shows in everything.
I try. I really do.
So definitely make sure you go to DevonFranklinBook.com. You can still order your books right now.
Yes.
Get a copy because it'll truly bless you. This book was such a blessing. And I told you, like, first of all, when I interviewed you last week, I was like, look, I ain't slept. I was so excited about talking to you about the book because there's just so many things that resonate. And you know my whole philosophy, even though I'm a financial expert, they say, is that wealth is about more than money. It's about well-being. Yeah. And everything that I read in this book, in the Hollywood Commandments, it just kept magnifying that, or you know, just showing that over and over again through relationships or through how you take care of your body, just how you honor your purpose and you walk in your gifts, and the money will come. Yes, it will. So I know you said it earlier, but we need to say it again. This is not a get rich quick.
No. If you want to get rich quick, don't come to me.
This is not it.
I can't help you do it. I can't help you do it. I can help you get faith quick. I can help you get purpose quick, but I can't help you get rich quick.
One of the things you say, though, is that prayer is not enough.
That's right. That's right. It's about prayer and preparation. You got to get up. Prayer is good. Don't misinterpret. Prayer is essential. I pray every single day, multiple times a day. It's important to keep my relationship with God. It's important to keep your relationship with God. It's important to communicate. It's important to stay connected. However, after I pray, I go to work. After I pray, I get it done. After I pray, I prepare. So important to do that. And to not think that everything that God is doing in our lives is going to come just because we're praying. If God has given us the ability to do it, then why do we need to pray about it? Think about it. Okay, God, you know, Lord, I want to pick up the pen. No, we can do it. Right now, God, show me what you want me to write with the pen.
Let's ask better questions.
There it is.
Right?
There it is. It's not like, Lord, should I pick up the pen? No, pick it up. God, what do you want me to do with it? That's where prayer. So it's about praying and preparing.
Yeah. That is so good. I love when you said, so many times we pray for things and we ask about things, and it's not that God is not ready to give us the opportunity. We're not diligent enough. Correct. Right, in our discipline. I think you called it no destiny, no discipline.
That's right, no discipline, no destiny, because it's true. Discipline is something that we all struggle with. It's very hard to be disciplined and really live in a way where discipline is a part of our life, because we get lazy. We get tired. But what I know is that to achieve destiny, you have to be disciplined. You have to put yourself in a regimen. You have to be committed. And part of that commitment is to the process that is required to become successful. It is not going to happen overnight. If you rush the process, you're going to rush the product. You know, I give this analogy. It's the same like, you know, putting the cake in the oven. You know, you put that cake in the oven. If you go over there and you keep checking it, that thing is going to fall. Am I right? And my bakers out there, it's going to fall.
Look, you can't ask me, but I trust you as the resident baker.
when you put the cake in the oven, if you keep going over there checking it, the cold air gets in there and the cake falls. It ruins the product because you were rushing the process. So when we commit to the process, no matter how long it takes, when we have discipline along the way, we position ourselves to receive what we're praying for. Because here's the irony. If we were to receive certain things we're praying for right now, we would not be ready.
Not be ready.
Blessings have weight. They are not lightweight. They have weight. There are some blessings that we are not ready to receive. And if they fell on us, they would crush us because we're not ready. So part of the preparation time is getting our strength up, getting our character refined, getting our integrity to a level where as the blessings come, we can manage them.
That's good, Devon. And also be mentally prepared.
Absolutely.
For the weight of success.
That's why I wrote the commandment, you must master the walk of fame. Success is not light. It's not easy. So when it comes, how do you deal with it? How do you handle it? That's why I wrote that commandment, to help us learn how to navigate success once it arrives.
Yeah, that's good. I have a few other questions.
Yeah, please.
How do you keep a good work-relationship balance?
I don't. A work-relationship balance. You know, I believe I treat my life like a blender. It's all mixed up. It's all in there. You know, it's all one wheel going the same direction. There's just different spokes. So when it comes to work relationship, it's a holistic approach for me. It's about communicating what is important and aligning my life with what's important, but it's all fused together. So earlier today, you know, I was able to work a little bit from home because the missus was there. So I was like, able to see her. I worked from home, and then I had work to do. She had work to do. But during the day, on the way here, I'm FaceTime with her. Hey, are you good? Everything cool? So I'm checking in, even in the midst of work. So it's blended in.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important. It's not like, oh, my work life is over here, my home life is over there.
It's not
It's
compartmentalized.
all one. It's not compartmentalized. It's all one. And because I treat it as all one, it actually makes it a lot easier for me to balance.
Yeah. So it's not really balance, it's about harmony.
Yeah, it's about harmony and it's about incorporation.
I'm with it. Okay, so someone else asked, how has success changed you, if it has at all? That's good.
Yeah, success has definitely changed me for sure. I mean, success has made me more confident. It's also made me more humble because, you know, you realize, wow, it is so hard. Well, you really realize how hard it is to not only achieve peace but maintain it.
Yeah.
Then you get humble when you have it, real humble. You're like, wow, God, thank you, thank you. So success has changed me. It definitely has created more humility, and it also has given me more. It is giving me more confidence, maybe more bolder, to really believe in myself, believe in who God has created me to be, and to stretch my faith even more.
Stretch your faith. There's so many good questions. Okay, let's see. So Alexis says, what, if anything else, from Alexis from Lithonia, Georgia. Lithonia. Who or what else has inspired you to write this spiritual guide to secular success?
Yeah, you know, it was God. It was really God that inspired me.
Was it like a divine download?
It just was. It was an opportunity that presented itself to write a third book. I wasn't looking to write a third book. Okay. It just presented itself. So when the opportunity was presented, I just prayed over it. I said, God, what do you want me to write? And it over a few different conversations, in addition to my prayer, I was talking to the editor from Harper One. And as we started talking about what it could be, and as I was praying, God revealed it. It was like, oh, this is it, the Hollywood Commandments. These are 10 laws for success from what you've learned in Hollywood. And it just came. And as it came, I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. I got the next book too. I got the idea for the next book.
Well, that was someone else's question.
What was the book? What was the question?
They just wanted to know, what's the subject of your next book?
Oh,
we can't even say it.
I can't drop it on you yet. I can't drop it on you yet. I will drop it, but not yet. And if you have not ordered the book, Devon Franklin book right now. Go to Devon Franklin book right now. We're still signing books.
Let's focus on the one that's out right now.
That's right.
The Hollywood Commandments is absolutely phenomenal. If you have not gotten your copy yet, go to devonfranklinbook.com. You can order a copy or multiple copies. This is definitely something you want to bless some friends, your spouse.
Yes.
My husband stole the other copies. It was for my girlfriend.
What's up, G? Love you, boy.
He did steal the other copy. He's reading on his flight right now. But I'm excited that he is, because he is in Hollywood. And this is great for us to be learning these commandments together.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
So make sure you grab one for someone else. Devon, I think it's time to wrap up. It's been so good. It's been so good. So I want to thank you. Devon's going to thank you, but I want to thank you all for tuning in, for supporting the Hollywood Commandments. This has been amazing, for submitting your questions, from joining in the chat and all that stuff. The energy, even though it's just us, I feel the energy.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it.
Through the phones and the screens and the cameras. So thank you for having me. It's been a blessing.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has been a blessing. Absolutely. Yes, you are a blessing. Thank you so much. And what's your Instagram? What's your Seek Wisdom PCW.
Seek Wisdom PCW. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, you want to check it out. It's incredible. She has incredible knowledge, you know, that you really want to follow daily. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate every single one of you that have ordered the book. I have no doubt that this book is going to bless you, that there's so much knowledge in it that has come from the experiences God has allowed me to have, so that you could be blessed. I did not want to hold on to what I've learned. I want to share it because I believe in you. I believe in where you're going. And I know that sometimes the difference between where you are and where you know you want to be is just knowledge. That's it. It's not about talent. It's not about your ability. You have that. But sometimes you just need the knowledge. to help you get to where you know you're supposed to be. And I believe the Hollywood Commandments is that knowledge. So if you want to order after this, you can do that. The website will be up, DevonFranklinBook.com. And we just thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. You are loved. We love you. We appreciate you. And you're incredible. So please go after every good thing that God's put in your heart.